Alright, I put together a quick video on my stencil process. You'll need a knife, cardstock, cutting board, paint pens, and a brush to smear it, and obviously you'll need spray paint. Now I like to use my own pictures, but for this one I'm picking an easy thing. Cubone, he's my favorite Pokemon, just a goofy looking little dude. We're going to use an app called Ibis Paint X. It's free, and I'll show you what I do in my process here. As you can see in the corner, there's black squares in every layer. This is so when you cut out the stencils, they're all aligned perfectly. It doesn't matter if they get printed wrong or misaligned. They'll all line up when you print them out. And you can see right here, I'm just tracing the colors for all these different layers. This is where the artistic decision making comes in on what exactly you actually want to draw, so it's different than using a computer. I do print them out on cardstock, very easy, and then I cut them out. On this one, this took about 20 minutes to cut out all 8 layers. Once the stencils are cut out, you go line them up. I like to put masking tape down underneath the alignment holes to make sure that there aren't two just big squares of paint at the end of this. And I like to tape, sometimes use other materials to block off parts of the canvas you don't want paint on. I'm putting these screws and bolts and just heavy things down to weigh down the paper so that when you spray, you don't have the paper pushing back up and letting other paint run everywhere. It keeps it pretty defined to a specific area. So this is just going through all the different layers, one at a time. The most important thing is patience, letting it dry before each layer. It's one of my biggest struggles because I like to just do things, and it's a good way to mess up a painting if you have to start over. Last layer painted, you can take off the last stencil and see, here's what we're working with. That's our little Cubone right now. Now you cover them up with the body you saved and start making the grass and the sky. And this part, you can just do however you like. I like to go with 4 or 5 different shades of green, some different textures to toss in there, and a little bit of brown too, because he's standing on, it's not a whole grassy field. It's a brown, dirty area with dirt and grass and stuff. This part is really up to you how you want to do it. You can put them on a plain background, or you can do something more literal, more adventurous, more abstract, whatever you want. It's art, it's your world, make it fun. And to block off the grass area, I just use any old piece of paper ripped in half in a different, just not straight shape. But I try to use a lot of trash or recycled materials just because I like to not be as wasteful as possible, and art can be fairly wasteful. Now that it's dry, it's time to pull it off. Sometimes the stencil will stick to the background if you choose to do it this way, and that's okay. But there's our little guy. And there's still some sloppiness. There's some white all around him, so I take paint pens and color in an outline. For this one, I used about 12 different pens when it's all said and done. Different shades of blue, green, brown, white, black. Because I like to make them stand out from the background a little more, and having a differentiating background helps with that. This part's totally optional. This is just drawing, and if you don't want to do it, you're not about it, then don't do it. It's fine. You don't have to. It's making art. You're supposed to do it however you want to. If you're not having fun with it, don't do it. And something fun about these Posca paint pens is that they smear easily with the brush, so you don't have to get out a whole tube of acrylic paint. You can just use the pen and get detailed little amounts. I wait until I'm done to sign. Some like to do it before they start. I don't. And there you have it. That's our little dude. That's a few hours of work condensed into just under 4 minutes.